love? Welcome back to the Faceted Duality podcast. I'm Amor Shanae.
And I'm Tanae. We're here today with a special guest.
I'm Kiara CA.
And can you tell us a bit about yourself, your brand, what you represent, what you have, on the table after we have some of your products out?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I am an entrepreneur. I create waist beads. I make accessories. Mainly, I make those things with healing stones. My brand is Wrapped and Wasted in Love. Mm-hmm. So my brand is really based around like self-love, love in general, positivity, sisterhood. I have started adding different things to my brand, like my hats. And my hats, they say my man, because I am, I'm big on, like, social media is so big on making everything look like, oh, you're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to represent a man. If you're not married, you're not supposed to do that. But it's like, if you with him, you with him. If he's good to you, he's good to you. So I have hats that I added to my brand. I started doing affirmation cards, which I will have for my pop-up shop soon.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I'm just like a multi-entrepreneur. I'm a writer. I have production coming up soon. And I am currently in school to become a postpartum doula. So
that's what's up.
Yep. So I'm just kind of like woman empowerment type.
What made you want to pursue the doula role?
So originally I wanted to pursue a doula role to be a birthing doula.
Okay.
But then I have friends who are mothers, and I see like obviously I've never been pregnant, but obviously like the pregnancy part is tough, but the afterbirth, the postpartum part is even worse. Mm-hmm. Like I see like mothers go through so much mentally and emotionally, and a lot of them they have fathers in the home and still don't have support. Mm-hmm. So so that's what made me kind of switch to postpartum.
It's definitely needed. That's beautiful. And these hats, they're so dope. When I seen you post them, although I'm currently not in a relationship, I was like, I want one because I'm affirming that.
My best friend said this. One of my best friends said the same thing. She's like, I want a hat. I'm like, you're nuts. She's like, no, I'm affirming. I said, you're right. I said, you're right. You're right.
Affirmations, positive vibes.
I need one that say myself.
That too.
Got you. It was my hat. They just starting to like, now people starting to like, oh, I want one. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's dope.
So today we're going to be talking about some stuff that's a little juicy and can be a little controversial, just depending on how open-minded people are. So soul ties and sexual energy. Do you believe soul ties are real? That's a real thing.
I do believe soul ties are real, but I also feel like they're breakable as well, for sure. So, because you can have good soul ties, you can have bad soul ties.
Mm-hmm. So, the more you think soul ties is real.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Gratefully, we can break them. We ain't stuck with it or nothing.
I know, right?
so what actually is a soul tie? Try to describe it.
For me, in my experiences, I feel like a soul tie is just a bond that you have with someone that you really can't explain why you have this bond or kind of like where this bond came from. It's kind of like, it's kind of familiar. You feel like, why am I so comfortable with you?
Mm-hmm. I feel for me, that's like a soul connection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree.
For me, a soul tie would be like if I'm exchanging sexual energy and our souls intertwine.
So that's what I'm saying. Somebody you sexual with.
Oh, sexual.
Yeah. Somebody you sexual with for sure, but it's still like, to me, it's still like unexplainable. Like, but why am I like disconnected to you?
To my understanding, I would say that it's something that you kind of can't. It's like a person that you say you want to leave them alone, but you feel like you can't, or
feel binded.
You feel binded, like, and not in a good way. Like,
for
you
sure.
know, this person got you crying and doing all this other stuff, and you just like, why I can't leave you alone?
Couldn't explain why I'm so.
For sure.
Yeah, and you gotta go tap into your powers to release that bindness. Ooh. That's the word. You take you some walnut baths and put some potions together to really release that energetic tie and connection.
You gotta make sure they released it from you, like that other person.
You gotta call all your energy back. Yeah, it's a method to it for sure.
Do y'all think it's like every interaction, like let's say tomorrow I go do it to 10 people. I got 10 soul ties.
No,
is that how it
works?
No, not in a binding sense that we're saying like that level of like, can't shake it. But I do feel that when you are interchanging sexual energy, that there is some type of tie or connection.
Sure.
Yeah. and especially when it's consistent, for sure. Because I've experienced before through my partner feeling what he felt. Like, I'm already empath, so like in that time span in that year when I was dealing with him, I was feeling a little confused and conflicted about things, and I know that wasn't me. That was like where his headspace was at. So I know that it's real from me.
They say you are what you consume.
You are what you.
I've had one. I had one for 5 years, and it was like, why am I like why is this? It was such a bad soul tie, and I couldn't understand why I was so connected with this person.
Why do you think sex energy is so powerful though? Like, what gives it that much power?
The sexual energy, as far as like,
why do you think sexual energy is that powerful? I think it's powerful because it
you inside somebody in you, like I don't think you could.
That portal space of energy is very powerful in itself.
Yeah. I think it's because like, it's really the one thing that we really can't explain. Like, it's not nothing that needs to be taught or anything like that. It's a very natural thing. It's like, still, even though we know how conception works and we know like, I guess the process, like, we don't really know what causes it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like every time you have sex you get pregnant. Like, it's a very
a creation energy.
Yeah, it's a very finicky energy, but very powerful as well. And like when it hit, it hit.
Yeah,
you know?
And I think just like how we do affirmations and words having power, like when you in those moments and you like you know you're dealing with somebody and they starting to say things that are powerful over you of ownership. Like, this mine and this my this,
and you're saying yes,
and
it's yours.
You're affirming it. Like,
now you're giving
yours.
him yourself.
Exactly. So together you're manifesting and creating that bind, right? That binding energy right there for sure.
And I feel like that's if you like, nobody can take you off your rocks like a person you're intimate with, because that person, like, you're sharing, like, somebody is in you, like no,
or vice versa, or like you going into to somebody else, like you putting your whole body, well, not your whole body, your whole body. I know what your whole body. You putting your body into somebody else's body, like that's it's not nothing that I think should be taken lightly. Although I know a lot of people are able to, have sexual encounters and like not think about it or not feel no type of way about it. But I also think those people are kind of spiritually disconnected from themselves. So
I was just gonna say that
either they're being protected. I think in a way they're being protected because they're not really vulnerable and open to things. But they also they missing out on some really dope experiences and connections by being disconnected. Yeah, for sure.
Either that disconnect or also like some kind of trauma or something could be going on where that causes that disconnect too. Yeah, they're emotionally unavailable to even
and emotionally detached.
Yeah,
especially if you have like sexual trauma, you already learn how to detach yourself from it. So when you get older, it's like it's normal. That detachment.
But you really just gotta tap in with yourself and then take a break. Speaking of taking a break. What do y'all think about like abstinence, celibacy, thoughts, experience?
I'm all for it. I think it's powerful. I'm in a celibacy space right now, and I love it. It's sacred for me. I like the energy of even more focus. I feel I'm pretty focused. I never felt like I ever was in a space to where not being celibate made me lose my focus. But it's definitely another level of focus and how I transmute my sexual energy. I'm all for it. I think it's powerful and it's healthy.
I definitely practiced it once upon a time in my life, probably in my mid-20s. I practiced abstinence for 2 years. And that was the most peaceful time of my life.
I did the same.
Like not having that emotional connection to somebody and just being at peace. And it was the most peaceful time of my life. And I did it for 2 years. And the moment I gave myself to somebody, I was bonded to him for 5 years.
Wow. And you could say you was even more sensitive too.
Oh yeah, because I had I took all that time getting myself together mentally, emotionally.
Your aura, nothing been touched.
Exactly. And then boom, and he ain't together. He jacked up. So I'm jacked up even more than I was before. Like
when I went celibate that almost that long, it was like a year and a half or so. I purged a lot of my spiritual growth. Like so much of my energy went into healing and awareness of myself. And it felt like fast paced.
Yeah. I agree, because it wasn't just like I wasn't just abstaining from sex. Like I was like everything, like people in general. Like I wasn't trying to date. I wasn't trying to do nothing extra. Just really focus on myself. I'm interested to see, like, you know, when I do have a partner one day, the dynamic of abstaining while in a relationship, because I think that's important too, especially when you're with someone for so long. You know, the kind of people always talk about missing the spark, or like not, you know what I mean, like
focus on
or wanting to connect
more
deeper on more intimate level than just
sex.
you know, having sex.
Because a lot of men are we all are sexual beings. I don't want to put it all on them, but you know, when it comes to, at least from my perspective, I can speak from when it comes to men in intimacy, you know, a lot of them are just really sexual. You know, the intimate part isn't as natural for them.
I was actually dating people when I was celibate, but I was just like, I'm not doing it. But there was this one guy, and we began to like get really close, and we dated for a few months. And one day he was just like, I don't want to hurt you. I can't do it. Like I can't. And at that time I was real heavy in like the Christianity faith at the time. So I wanted to wait until I was married. I'm like, oh, this is what God want me to do. But he like, I like you a lot, but I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to cheat on you. And we just started dating. We're not about to get married. So I was hurt then, but you know, I still understood it. And now I still have so much respect for him, because even when I tried to be like, okay, we can just do it, you know what I'm saying? He like,
no, I love that. Shout out to him.
Shout out, he's a good guy.
That's dope. That's really dope. What y'all think the benefits are of limiting our sexual partners?
You know who your baby daddy
is. Emotional stability.
That too.
Of course, healthy wise.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
for sure.
The obvious
of that, sexually transmitted things, but energetically, it's a super more safe space.
For sure.
I agree. Because people be crazy. You won't even know they're crazy. Or it could just be that the girl that you like, or the girl you kicking with a crazy nigga, and then now you taking on his energy. You know what I mean? Like it just creates too many opportunities for
energy transfer.
Yeah, for stuff to clash. Like it's not worth it. Like it's okay to just do it to one person. I promise. It really is. Or
just explore all of what you need, you know, in that realm. You know, get you a compatible partnership.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. If I could be anything for one day, it would be a man, because I just want to know like what that feel like to them.
I think I got a pretty good idea. Like, well, I don't know if this is how you meant it, but remember you said that you felt with your partner was you felt what he was feeling. I feel like I be feeling I can feel what you feeling like while you in it type. You know what I mean? Like,
but you really can't though, because you really don't have it, so you don't really know for sure.
I think we got the long end of the stick there though. Like, you think so?
The way they act, I can't tell.
I don't know. I think so.
Period.
I think so.
Have you ever felt like your soul was tied to someone?
Yes, ma'am. 5 years.
Same.
Said it.
Same person. Okay.
For sure, same person.
Yeah, currently so, but it's not in a negative way. Like it ain't nothing I'm trying to, or it ain't nothing I'm trying to break. Yeah, I think it's more like what you said, a soul connection, and it's a soul tie, because you know naturally those things happen. And that bitch got some knots in it. It's tied a bow. But like I said, it's not in a negative way. I think it's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
And I think when you are, or if you are aligned with, you know, someone, I think it could be a positive thing. Like it brings you closer.
For sure.
You have more of an understanding with someone, like on the soul level, because all things can't be verbalized, like or articulated. Like some stuff you just gotta feel it. You know what I mean? Or you just gotta internalize it. So I think, you know, that's the more positive aspect.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about positive, you know, obviously with the guy I'm with now, but I'm not used to having a positive soul tie or a positive relationship with a man. I'm just not used to that. So, not for real, and not for longevity. So, I mean, if you want to talk about a positive soul tie, I guess I'm in one now.
Okay. You are. Ain't no game for you. You is and is. So let's talk about the clarifying the difference between abstinence and celibacy, though.
Oh yeah. So to my understanding, this is from Webster's dictionary. You know, celibacy is like what nuns do, like people that they never want to have any type of sexual relations. Even though I feel like they be fucking too, but that's neither here nor there. And then because your whole life, like you pledged your whole life to be a virgin.
That's a lot. I guess when you already a virgin, you know how I feel.
Man, they be doing something.
They be doing something. Like
whatever.
And they abstain from
not saying that they
too.
Can't.
I mean, no, I'm not saying that they can't, but I like for real. Anyways.
Yeah.
And then abstinence is just abstaining for like a certain period of time, like how you fast a lot, you know, from solid foods, for example. Like it's just for a temporary moment.
Just to be absent of it for a moment.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm practicing abstinence.
Yes.
Okay.
Because celibacy means you don't ever want to do it again. And we don't want to speak that.
Oh, yeah, no.
We don't want to speak that. I don't.
So what if, hypothetically speaking, I can create this to be the way I want it to be, right? So say I'm abstinent from intercoursing.
It's your world, baby.
But
other things.
I receive other sexual gestures.
Well, I'll say this. I think, you know, it's your world. You do what you want to do. But
technically speaking,
based on our conversation, when we talk about as far as sexual energy, like I think there's still an exchange being had there.
For sure. You feel like you still could get some type of, you gonna still crave that person.
He definitely gonna crave, you know what I mean?
Like you're gonna, if it's good, you're gonna crave whatever sexual energy y'all having.
Yeah. And to be honest, like any man that's just doing that, like off the strength, like not wanting nothing in return, like he probably already got some sort of
you gotta get
there's already a tie there.
I'm gonna say that.
Oh, okay. So tantric sex and meditation. Let's talk about that.
So tantric sex, that's when like it'd be yoga.
I think it's more like affirmations, not yoga.
It's yoga more affirmation. Yeah, but it's like they have
you know how they women together yoga with like a intimate.
I know you seen them freaky ass
yoga videos. But I thought that the tantric sex was just like manifesting.
It's a whole like.
It's a whole list of experiences.
Well, yeah, like a whole I don't know.
Because I was interested in it at one point, but it was just like it was just the wrong person.
So you can even have like you can do like tantric meditation too. Like long as it's a woven together, sensual, intimate experience intertwined.
No penetration. I think like that's the basis of tantra.
Oh no.
Or like I don't know. I'm not an expert.
It would be. She like, so how do we have tantric sex?
Wait. I'm not an expert.
We talking about tantric sex, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But
you can have tantric meditation, tantric yoga.
Okay. What I was trying to say is that the basis, like, you know, usually like the basis of sex is like the sex, like penetration, like that's or getting the orgasm, because that's what people is in it for. But tantra is more so about connecting, so it's a whole lot of like foreplay and like some of the positions like the yoga positions. That's why I said that. But there's a book. It's called Urban Tantra. You should check it out.
Yeah, I want to get it.
I'm gonna got pictures in it too.
Yeah, show you how to tantalize it.
I think this was probably like 2 years ago when I first found out what it was, and I was interested, and I might still be interested. It's just the person I was talking to, because we weren't like serious.
Yeah, it wasn't a candidate
like
for that.
Like, you know, we talked about it and he was just kind of stepping into his spiritual journey, but he was still scared of it. But he wanted to experience that, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, we're not doing that together. Like, we're not doing that together. Like, you don't even like me that much.
Wow. Why are you trying to bind yourself to me?
Right.
But I think, I don't know. I'm interested. It's something I definitely would like to explore, but it just takes, you know, open-minded people and
the right partner for sure. Yeah,
the right partner.
I want to explore it more when I feel like my life partner and I would be on that level consistently for sure.
I feel like I'm too goofy for some of that shit.
Me too. And my boyfriend, I'm scared. He kind of mean. So like,
I'm not doing this shit.
Like he gonna be like, "What, babe?" Like I don't want to feel stupid. Like he's very.
Just study it with him first. Like show it to him in a
like,
before.
What you think about this?
Yeah, like that's what you think about it. Like, yeah, read little excerpts to him. Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta talk about the benefits.
Right, that part.
You can have a mind-blowing.
He think everything. Well, I can't say he mean. He just think everything is corny. He thinks everything is corny.
Yeah.
And it's like, babe.
So y'all haven't manifested through sex?
I think
That's
that's
TMI.
corny.
I think I have. I don't know. I don't think like in my
Together,
mind,
yeah.
but not together. No.
Okay, I got you. Well, that's
That's
dope.
an important note too, though. Like, cause it don't necessarily have to be like you saying it out loud or like your partner. We got to be thinking the same shit. Like, it's about you.
Mm-hmm.
If you need $1,000 by tomorrow, you know,
Babe,
then
you coming to bed?
okay. Like,
And if y'all not here, basically manifesting through sex is when you are in that sexual experience and you're climaxing into that space of orgasm. That's the best time frame to really visualize, speak, and affirm, if not out loud within your mind, what you're manifesting and seeing that versus being only present in the sexual moment with the partner. You're literally intentionally manifesting instead in that moment to bring it into creation.
I do more of that when I'm doing self pleasure, though.
it's
Like,
easier to focus, I think.
Yeah, when you doing self, because you know what you about to do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't got nobody interrupting your thoughts because
you don't got to focus on it.
Hit something that you wasn't expecting. You're like, oh wait, what happened?
Pro tip: if you need to, because I be needing to focus in the moment.
Pro tip.
So what you can do is write down your affirmations or your manifestations or whatever. Tuck it underneath your pillow before y'all do what you're gonna do, and then it's there in spirit, like it's already done. Because that's even with a lot of my manifestations, like I don't be focused on it all day every day. It's like
just rest
you write it and then you release it because you already know it's done.
Right.
Yeah. For sure.
And I think that's like one of the main keys in a lot of stuff, like manifesting. And then when people get readings, like accept it and let it go. Don't like try to base your life around everything. Like I had to tell one of my friends that like she kept getting these readings and she kept like it was driving her crazy, and because she really was like waiting on what the person tell her to happen, and I'm like, you got to learn how to release it. Like
and allow yourself to flow for it to flow in alignment,
and then just forget about it. And at first it was hard for her to do, but she's gotten a lot better with it.
That's good, because actually that kind of energy can make it a little stagnant or blocking.
Exactly. Because you're like trying to maneuver your own life, and you might be doing something to mess it up.
Yeah.
So.
And I learned too, with readings, a lot of times, of course, in that present moment of the reading, it is being, that's the energy of that moment. But because we do have free will, and people they will block things, shift things, make certain decisions. It can alter what like a reading isn't going to be 100% exact all the time. What resonates, of course, but sometimes it just due to free will or a person's like, say for example, I got a reading before that I was going to get proposed to at the end of last year, and the reader saw a ring and everything, right? And that I was going to reunite with this person, and they were going to propose to me.
You heard the music skip when you said that.
Did I? No,
I did.
The reuniting did happen at the same time, she said, and there were rings around where we were at, but that person wasn't presently in a space to
propose. Yeah, honestly. I only go to one person for my reading, and it's virtual. She's not here, and when I say she has not missed a beat, and she actually told me that I was going to have, because my boyfriend is 10 years older than me. My man is 10 years older than me, and she told me that I was going to have an older guy come into my life. And I was in New York when this happened. Living in New York, I'm like, oh, okay. She was, telling me like how much he was going to love me and all this stuff, and I literally did not remember I had that reading until we were probably we were like 8 months in.
Oh, wow.
And I was going, because I screen recorded it because it's virtual. And I was going through my stuff, and I was like,
this is exactly what she was talking about.
Like, it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
It was mind blowing. I'm like, she literally told me this.
I'd be mind blown. Like, that's wow. Especially when they have whole visions.
That's why you gotta let it go.
Really?
No.
It's so dope.
Like, they be telling me dumb shit.
I
It needs to be something I already know. Like,
sure.
I know I'm about to be successful. Like, I know.
It'd be like the obvious.
Like the shit your intuition already telling you.
Yeah, like it's the obvious stuff for sure. It do be the obvious. Well, not for me, but I get what you're saying.
And then the last reading I had, she was just like, your guides or, your spirit team don't want to open up to me, whatever. They want you to go home and basically meditate more. And I was like, okay, well, I already knew that. But that's not the point. Like, that was why I came and got this reading real quick. She ended up not charging me, so I wasn't tripping. But I think, like, that was...
I think my lady,
go do what you need to do.
She's like, she literally is never the obvious, because even when I came back home from New York, I was just supposed to be here to visit, and she was pretty much, I got a reading obviously after I came back home from New York, and she pretty much told me like I was real. She kept telling me I was strong, and she was pretty much telling me like, you about to hit something, about to happen, you about to hit rock bottom. And I'm like, I'm about to go back to New York, get on power. I am not about to be doing this. And I literally, something happened, and I wasn't able to go back to New York, and I literally, I don't want to say, pretty much was homeless for months, because I was supposed to be back in New York, and it didn't work like that. So I was living in Airbnbs and stuff for like 6 months, and I was just, it was the most depressive moment in my life. But I just held on to that reading. She like, anytime you go through something, you always come back even better. And I just kept that in my mind. I kept that in my mind.
That's like some of the realest advice. I think most people can say that unless they are in a low point right now. But if you look back and reflect on your life, like whatever happened, like this shit, it always worked out.
For sure.
It'd be like destroying to rebuild. Or you gain some huge lesson from it to carry with you on your journey that made you greater ultimately. That's always been my experience. My worst experiences was my best teachers.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
My most favorite reader is out of state too. She's in Arizona.
Well, y'all gonna have to plug me, because that. I think I probably had like at least 5 readings here.
Oh yeah, I got a couple I can recommend to you.
The only thing that was really good was I had got aura photography done, and I got a reading with that too. So it basically is, I don't know what kind of special ass camera they got, but it takes a picture of you and your your aura and what color it is. Mine was green and yellow. Because I was, what is this? Because I have really creative energy and heart chakra. You know, he said I was a big kid basically. And I'm like, yeah, I am. Like, and that's how kids are. Like, they do shit from the heart. So yeah, for sure. It was pretty spot on. That's what's up. So,
y'all got any tips on transmuting sex energy other than my answer always creativity? Like,
everybody don't got that though, so
that's why I say other than that.
Yeah,
because I just happen to have a lot of creative energy. So
I think
exercising.
I don't think my creative energy. I'm just be honest. And whenever I'm having sex to have sex to like a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really.
She's like, I don't have nowhere else to do with it. I don't have nowhere else to put it.
Yeah, like I don't really think about because when I'm being creative, I'm in another space. It's not like a sexual space. Yeah. Although I know I can use that energy. Now, let me take that back. And now it's not like intercourse sexual energy, but it's like more sensual. When I'm creating my waist beads, and I know, because I talk to my people, I'm like, what are you working on? What you know what I'm saying? What we doing right now? Because a lot of times I use healing stones. And a lot of women, they want confidence, and they want to feel beautiful, and they want this. So I do put myself in like a sexual state. And I put a lot of and I put that into their waist beads, and I don't tell them like my process or nothing like that. And they're like, oh my God, after they get their beads, they're like, oh my God, I feel so good. I love these beads and all this stuff. And I'm like,
so that would be one of your transmuters.
I like what you said, exercise, fellas, because I know like y'all be struggling. Redirect that energy for sure. Get big out here, and then you won't even be thinking about Keisha or Felicia or nothing like that. Like
Keisha, Felicia. Felicia.
That's smart. I like that. Any advice on increasing intimacy to have better sexual experiences? Those two things go hand in hand.
I want to say just confidence and being open, because I think a lot of people, me too, like I'd be kind of scared to kind of tell my partner like certain stuff I'm into, because you be kind of you kind of like, that's a vulnerable moment, like you're open.
Yeah, because what if he think I'm weird?
Like or what if he be like, no, then you gonna feel stupid, So like I think being honest and open and comfortable are like the most important things, because then you get your full capacity of pleasure, because now your partner 100% knows what your dislikes and your likes are, and then you know what your partners are. So now y'all can please each other like in the best way possible. Yeah. So, and I'm still working on that. I know the answer. I know a lot of answers. I just don't be like. So I'm still working on my confidence with my sexual energy, and I think a lot of it probably comes because I shut down my sexual energy, and I think it comes from being sexually abused as a child. So I shut down. I'm used to shutting down with my sexual energy. And so now I have to learn, like, oh, I really got somebody that
Let it
really
be
loves
outward
me.
and
Like, that
in a
really,
safe
and it's
space.
open to
Exactly.
I would say just taking some of the seriousness out of it. You know, it's okay to be playful with your partner, and like it don't have to be a big production. You know what I mean? Just let it flow naturally. Yeah, like it don't gotta be like that. Just let it flow naturally. As far as like introducing new things, games is a good one. Like the little.
They don't go far though. Once they be
you
like,
take it there.
Once it get like, give your partner a blowjob, it's over.
No, that's not what I meant by game.
Oh, what we talking about?
She like,
Look,
I'm like, send us out to the card and say, suck his dick.
Oh my god.
Game is over.
I mean them too, but no, that's not what I meant. So they have like, I guess more so like conversation games, like like them cards we got, the tonight's conversation.
Got you. Okay.
And it kind of opens up the door for conversation.
As soon as
you can grab your cards.
Okay.
You know, once we didn't talked about it, then you grab them other cards. But yeah,
Got
just
you.
like
Okay.
you have to get more creative about having those awkward conversations and like.
Yeah,
you know,
I like that.
Yeah.
Get more creative about having the awkward conversations
That's
versus
true.
it being like, I need to talk to you.
Yeah,
about
or shit like
Yeah.
make up your own game if you don't want to go buy the
Yeah.
cards. You know, make up a little game, get some popsicles.
Yeah.
Pull a stick.
I was thinking of a popsicle. Anyway, I like to go out into like setting the tone of things too. Like for me, like increasing intimacy, like romantic.
Right.
Like I like going out in nature, doing a picnic, intentionally like you making the food, and, like not going out to eat and setting up little things, little trinkets that that I like, and vice versa, me to my partner. Being more creative with intimacy versus the typical ideas, like and not even get like, because I'm get turned on more the more you're pouring into me intimately. Even if that's through deep conversation in an intimate setting.
Or like help me with my self-care.
Yeah.
Shave my legs for me, rub my toes, stuff like that. Like that go a long way, and I think men like that stuff too. Like I'm let y'all know, like that's it goes far.
It does go far.
And you have to not be afraid to ask for those things too. Like don't just expect it to come naturally. If you're not with somebody that already naturally does those things, it's not necessarily because they don't want to. They just maybe never had a partner that had those expectations, or never experienced nothing like that.
Because I'm the type of I will do things for my man that people would typically think is a standard for a man to do for a woman.
Like I'll flowers.
I would they have these masculine type of like gifts.
I have
flowers.
I
would like to do that. I haven't done it yet, but I'm open to that. But I have like running bath water. Making him intentional bath water, and when he's in the bathtub, rubbing his back.
I just told my boyfriend today, my man, I'm sorry, I gotta stop saying boyfriend. I just told my man today, well,
you got these my man.
I know, and I'm like, my boyfriend, like, no, it's your man. No, I told him like pretty much to buy like that standing facial steamer, because I'm like, we need like to start, because when we first got together, like I would do his foot massages, I would do his pedicures, I would do his facials, and life, you kind of get away from it. So I just told him like we need to get the machine so we can step back into because those were intimate moments for us, because he never got it to be done. So he laughing and stuff. So
give each other facials.
Exactly. I'll get him a facial, but
you like he ain't exfoliating my skin.
And then I do massages. I was doing massages at one point, so. I give massages, but to me, that's a date night, because I'm able to cater you. Like, you take care of me in a physical, and I can take care of you mentally. So.
Yeah, my love language, my top 2 is acts of service and gift giving. So
I love me a man of service.
Man, because I be doing a lot. So you help fill some voids and just extend without me asking. For sure. I be like, ooh, that makes
it's the best ever. Like, and I never had a man to be like, know that I need something and be like, all right, and bring it to me, like, I got you, we good, what I'm saying, I'll make sure you're
just like what you need, like what you need me to do, like everything.
Like,
I'm
you want me to type it and email it?
I'm not one of them. I don't need a man. Like I do. I need you.
Even when I'm PMS, he caters to me. Like that's the top.
And I'm gonna provide things that you need from me. So we're gonna balance this shit out. Wait, come on, I shake. Let's get
daddy.
One of our last question actually is: do you feel sex is more sacred today versus the 1900s?
I wasn't around.
Well, my great grandma had said, like, no, the 1900s really was right around the corner.
They were some freaks though.
Who are
Still
great?
some freaks.
No, like the 1900s.
They were like everybody had
The
15
men,
kids.
especially the men. The
Yeah, they
men
did
were
have a lot of
very
kids.
intimate with each other.
What?
Yeah.
What?
For real, they were. Like they
What
were.
you-
Like they were wow.
I don't
That's
hear
how
that.
all that syphilis and all them diseases came
Mm.
about. I'm
Okay.
serious. I don't think sex has really ever been for real sacred because the majority of life don't really understand how intimate and sacred it is. Like the majority of people.
Okay,
I
but
think now it's
just
more sacred.
now versus that's what I'm saying. I think more people are more educated.
Oh,
now.
well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
like
That's
just
true.
based off the conversation
Spiritually.
we're
That's
having.
right.
In our
However,
generation.
and the reason I thought about this question is because of like from a religious aspect. I know I was born in the 90s, raised in the early 2000s. Like there was a lot more pressure to not have sex for religious purposes, whereas like most people in our community is not really in church no more.
Yeah,
so
for
it's
sure.
not. I think it's a little less sacred, but the people that do still see the sacred is for what I would say the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like because they
spiritual sacredness.
they understand the how deep it is. They're not just scared of going to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
because
not.
the younger version of me just thought sex was this whole don't do before marriage thing.
Exactly.
Or going to hell. Like the religious, that aspect.
Yep.
The evolved version of me know everything we talked about today, from soul ties to energy. So it's more sacred.
You're
now.
right. It is more sacred because it's more. You're right. People are more educated. They have more education on it. Like I'm educated on it. So yeah, I'm gonna talk to my god baby about it. She's like a teenager now, and I'm gonna tell her like that's you don't. But I didn't have nobody telling me that. I heard somebody telling me don't have sex before marriage.
I promise you, like
At
if
all.
I would have, and I think it.
That's why I was
somebody
off
coulda-
when I was 18. When I started, I was 18, 19.
I was 18.
My energy was off as hell around that time.
I was already hoo-hoo.
I
And
think-
then once I started having sex at 18, I
with a
really was
hoo-hoo. Y'all both just hoo-hoo.
And yeah, he did some stuff.
Do y'all think that y'all would have been able to understand? I guess, like what we talking about now, at that age, or like, do you think there's a way to bring that down to young girls? And
I would have understood.
I think I would
if
have
been
understood
taught
it. Is that just like I understood the Christian base of it,
Mhm.
aspect of
I
it. Like
received
I
that
felt
too.
like if I would have had somebody that was spiritual, because I've always had questions about Christianity and a lot of stuff didn't make sense to me, and I would ask questions that people wouldn't have the
Spirit was
answer.
already leading us.
the
at that time.
answer was there. They just didn't have.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And so I feel like if I had somebody, because I was able to take in my aunt, she's 4 years older than me, and I was able to take in what she was teaching me. She had her experience. She'd tell me, and I'd be like, all right, ain't doing that.
Okay, it would have 100% resonated.
Yeah.
It made even more sense.
Exactly.
Like, oh, okay.
And I really would have been like, no, sir. I would have
Exactly.
been. I lost my virginity at 18, but I would have went longer.
Same.
So,
Same here.
yeah.
For sure. Well, on that note, talk to y'all kids. Give them the real.
About
don't be trying to scare them about
diseases
In pregnancy,
bro,
like it's
thank
more
you.
to it.
Because at the end of the day, there's birth control and there's condoms. So those are the only two risks that they think that there is. Like, okay, I'm gonna strap up and like I'm gonna go get on birth control and I'm gonna do what I want to do, and that's like the opposite of what you should be doing. Like, no, you might not have a baby or catch a disease, but now you got like all these soul ties
And mental
because
issues.
you thought you was straight.
And emotional issues.
mental, physical, spiritual.
Yeah.
Yes, that's way more stronger than any condom or any method of birth control.
For sure. For sure.
This was a dope conversation.
Yeah, it was.
You want to add anything else to it?
To this one?
Yeah.
No, I think we even got sexualized as much.
Yeah.
Let's talk about sex, baby.
So make sure y'all hit Key up. Get y'all my man hats. If you don't have a man yet, like me, we can still rock them. And when we put them on, we just gonna say,
You better
Ashe.
And I'll have more colors coming too. So I'll have more colors when we do our pop-up shop.
Cool. And when's the pop-up shop?
The pop-up shop is June 4th, and it's not just a pop-up shop, it's also a ladies kickback. So it's gonna be a whole vibe. It's not a party, but it's gonna just be more of a vibe, a kickback. We're gonna all chill and just interact and just bring that feminine energy, relate to one another, just come together as women without drama.
Yeah, and Key and I are we're co-hosting it together. We'll be going over some womb care information as well and tips. She's gonna have all her great jewelry available, waist beads. I'm having some good vegan food. I'm gonna have some vegan steak and cheese egg rolls for y'all. It's gonna be a whole vibe.
We got raffles. Yeah.
Where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at just_Kiara. That's KIARACA. That's X as in X-ray IA. Or Wrapped and Wasted _in love.
And we'll make sure we put all her information in the description box. So make sure y'all check that out.
And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Comment below. Let us know what you think about the topics we spoke on today. And make sure you tune into our next episode, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Peace and love.
Peace.